police knocked my door and told me that he was gone.
The wife of one of the 3 climbers who died while rappelling in Okanogan County over the weekend opens up about the tragic loss, how she's remembering her husband tonight.
We catch a break from the rain and see a little sunshine tomorrow, but more is on the way as we close out the work week.
Unanimously approved this resolution moving forward.
With that, the Spokane Public School Board approved putting a $200 million bond on the November ballot. What the money would pay for. Good evening and thank you for joining us for the KREM 2 Night Report. I'm Mark Hanrahan. Tonight, the Spokane Public School Board voted in favor of putting a $200 million bond on the upcoming November ballot as part of their Together Spokane initiative. KREM 2's Connor McAvoy breaks down what that is and what homeowners should know if it passes. Connor?
The Together Spokane initiative is a joint levy through the Spokane Parks and Recreation Department and the school district. City Council voted in favor of placing the Parks and Rec levy on the November ballot, and tonight the school board unanimously voted to do the same.
Unanimously approved this resolution moving forward.
It's an effort the Spokane School Board unanimously voted for tonight, a $200 million bond to be paid back over the next 5 years.
To provide rich youth experiences for kids that we know is going to translate into their well-being in childhood, but it's also going to help be a catalyst for them becoming a working professional.
SPS Superintendent Dr. Adam Swinyard says putting the bond on the November ballot is a big deal. Voters will now decide its fate, along with a measure from Spokane Parks and Rec. Their $240 million 20-year levy will also head to voters in November. SPS and the city are calling the separate but aligned initiatives Together Spokane.
Well, that's probably the biggest demand right now is space. We're out of courts. We're out of play fields.
Officials believe by combining their efforts, voters will get more bang for their buck, especially for kids. Separately, the bond and levy would cost property owners 31 cents per $1,000 of home value, but together they say it will cost 29 cents and add 30 extra projects that the two couldn't do alone, including replacing aging schools.
As replacing Adams, are over 100 years old. Madison, our oldest Northside school, built in 1949.
An indoor pool with classes for grade school students and a field house with 5 courts for recreational sports in the community are also in the plans. While it all comes down to voters in November, board members, including Swinyard, are excited to move forward with the levy's next steps. The resolution now has to go to the Spokane County Election Office by August 5th. Ballots are sent out on October 15th, and the deadline to vote is November 4th at 8 p.m. Connor McAvoy, KREM 2 News.
All right, Connor, thank you very much. Happening tomorrow morning, Brian Koberger is expected back in court for a pretrial hearing. The man accused of killing 4 University of Idaho students in their off-campus home in November of 2022. According to court documents, after tomorrow's pretrial hearing, the next court date is July 30th. That's when jury selection is expected to start. Koberger's trial is then expected to start on August 11th. Lori Vallow-Daybell was back in court this morning for a pretrial hearing on her second case in Arizona. She is charged with conspiracy to commit murder in the 2019 attempted shooting of her niece's ex-husband. It got heated in the courtroom today when Lori told the judge that he was showing bias in how he is ruling on her motions ahead of the trial.
I've ruled on the motions as required by law.
Without any kind of a conclusion of law in them, just denied. Does that not show a bias and a prejudice against one single person?
All right, are you done?
Are you not going to recuse yourself?
No, I'm denying your motion.
Vallow-Daybell will once again represent herself. The trial is expected to start next month. Last month, the jury found her guilty of conspiring to kill her 4th husband, Charles Vallow. She was also convicted of murdering her 2 children and her current husband's first wife. She is currently serving a life sentence in Idaho. All right, let's talk weather on this Wednesday evening. Want to get outside? The chief meteorologist, Jeremy Legoo. Jeremy, the weather headline today seems to have been scattered showers. What's tomorrow looking like?
Sun and then clouds, but seriously, tomorrow winds up the driest day of the week. We sit at 55 degrees here in Spokane, but the second you leave town, If you're heading north, you're encountering some rain. Another band of showers moving through. This thing just hasn't let up all night long. You get north of Deer Park, you're in Newport, all the way over to Sandpoint. Some heavier rain coming down. It looks like this is likely going to hold together as it moves through. So expect that round of showers to hit parts of the region overnight and then move up into the mountains by tomorrow morning. Tomorrow, we'll wake up to sun with a couple of stray showers up high. Clouds take over by tomorrow afternoon. And by Friday morning, we're looking at widespread rain across eastern Washington and North Idaho. That should move out and give us scattered showers in the afternoon. And then as we get into the weekend, it looks interesting. I think scattered showers are possible both Saturday and Sunday, but not a wash of a weekend. 63 degrees tomorrow with those increasing clouds, 57 and raining on Friday.
All right, sounds good, Jeremy. We'll check back in with you later in the broadcast. Tonight we are hearing from the widow of a Bellevue man who died with two friends while rock climbing in Okanogan County over the weekend. Natalie Swaby with our Seattle sister station tells us how Alex Martinenko is being remembered tonight.
This is really heartbreaking for a young family. A 36-year-old husband and father from Bellevue is among the rock climbers killed in an accident that appears to be the result of an equipment failure.
We were kind of like ideal couple.
Olha Martinenko is talking about Alex, the man she married and moved from Ukraine to Washington with, building a life in Bellevue.
He fell in love with mountains.
But over the weekend, her world changed. Sunday night, she learned about what happened to her husband.
Police knocked my door and told me that he was gone.
The tragic timeline began with a trip on Friday. Alex and three friends made their way to the mountains in Okanogan County.
He texted to me in the evening on Friday that he's going to bed. I put "love you," and it was last message that he read from me.
That's because on Saturday, the climbers were rappelling on an almost vertical terrain when an accident happened.
They used this anchor, but it just broke.
They fell 400 feet. Alex and two of his friends died, but not the fourth climber.
I cannot imagine how he survived.
He was hurt, but managed to make the long journey out. He walked in the overnight hours on a snowy, rough route to reach his car, drive to the nearest payphone, and call for help. Rescue teams came in with a helicopter and located the three climbers.
He really wanted to give Daniel a better life than he had.
For this mom, it meant telling her 5-year-old son Daniel, who was often by his dad's side, about the terrible accident that took Alex's life.
He wanted to create happy life for us. Yeah, he loved me too much.
She doesn't have a lot of extended family in Washington, but friends have been there to support her. There's even a community fundraiser that's been started to help as she deals with this devastating loss. In the newsroom, Natalie Swaby, King 5 News.
All right, don't go to bed yet. With fire season bearing down, how one state is turning to its prisons for help. But first, an update on the deadly Lower South Hill shooting from last night, how a dog walker put an end to the violence. Coming up in just 90 seconds.